Hey everybody, so today I am going to be doing part 2 of common kitchen mistakes that home cooks make. For starters, a lot of people, this is just a play knife, a little toy knife, whatever, a little decorative knife. But a common mistake that a lot of home cooks tend to make is that they don't know how to hold their knife. They're always holding their knife either like this, kind of like this, like it's a hammer or something like that, or they always have this one finger on top of that spine doing all the work. And if you do it like that, that is the fast track to carpet tunnel. So right quick, I'm going to show you how to quickly adjust your knife for the best knife control, so that way you can be accurate and be dominant on the cutting board. So for starters, I'm going to put my index finger and my thumb, I'm going to put them right here. Every knife has one. This is called the bolster. This is where this and the blade of your knife meets. Okay, so I'm going to put these right here at the bolster. Now I'm going to pinch right here at the bolster. It looks just like this. I'm pinching like this. My thumb is kind of going in the direction of the blade, and my finger is wrapped around the bottom like so. I'm going to pinch right here. Now from right here, this knife can do whatever it wants right here, but guess what? I'm in complete control, especially after I take my other 3 fingers and I wrap them around like that. Now I have a very tight grip and this blade is not going anywhere, okay? So you always want to make sure that your hands are looking like this. So again, index finger, thumb, and all 3 of your other fingers are wrapped around that right there. And you'll have the best control of your knife on the cutting board for precise and accurate cutting every time. Another common mistake that a lot of home cooks make is that they don't really know the difference between boiling and simmering. But y'all, I have to admit, I just found the coolest thing ever. Whenever we're working with boiling points can be affected by 2 things. They can be affected by altitude of a state and the atmospheric pressure of that state. So for instance, the higher, and that means that water boils at 212 universally, but that can change depending on where you are, especially in places across the country where there's lots of elevation or lower elevation. So for instance, the higher the altitude, the lower the atmospheric pressure, meaning the lower the boiling point. So some place like Denver, for instance, would have a boiling point of 203 or 204 versus the universal 212 that we all know since we were kids. You know what I'm saying? We knew that in science class. But in Miami, it can be exactly 212 or a little bit higher. So right now I'm in Michigan, right? I just did the coolest thing. Now before I get into the difference, I have to show you how cool this is. So this right here is absolutely boiling. This is pure boiling. This is on the hottest that this water could possibly get. This is at its highest. I have my thermometer right here, and I'm putting this boy in here to check the temperature. And no matter how hot I get it, and this will not go any farther than 207 at most. So in Michigan, you probably want to check your boiling points because you might be 2 degrees off. So now that I got that little fun part out of the way, let's talk about the difference between boiling and simmering. Okay, so right now, boiling and simmering, as we already discussed, boiling at any given time, the universal temperature for boiling is 212. When you're simmering, you're looking at about 185 to 205 for simmering. So you might not have a cool thermometer like I do, where you can just pop it in there and check. So, and most of the time I don't use that anyway to check for water boiling or not. I usually go by the visual cues that the water is giving me. So water boils at 212, got it. But if we can't, in the case that I can't check for whatever reason, this is a great indicator that water is boiling. When there is rapid motion and action on the surface of that water or liquid, those bubbles are popping so rapidly that it almost looks like the water is just vibrating. Okay, right now that is at a boil. If I took my temperature down to maybe like medium low. Right now you can see the bubbles and they are popping, but there is less action on the surface. This is what we call a simmer. Now, if you're working with a thicker liquid or something like that, then what you would look for is for those tiny bubbles at the top, and they're popping, but they're not popping so fast that it looks like the liquid, oh my gosh, this looks like the 6-7, that there's so much movement on the top. You're usually going to see a lot of little bubbles popping up around, and if it's boiling, you're going to see multiple bubbles, and soon, if it's boiling a lot, you're going to see a lot of action on the surface. So that's really one way that you can differentiate the two, is to always check for the visual cues. And if you just so happen to have a thermometer by chance, you can always check the temperature. If you don't have a thermometer, or you can't really go by visual cues, you can't really tell if you're simmering something, shoot for about medium low, medium heat on your eye, high, medium, high to high on your stove will get you to boiling. And also keep in mind that not all liquids boil at the same temperatures. Things like alcohol boil at 175 versus what water would boil at 212. So these are all just things that you keep in mind when you're boiling any type of liquid. But boiling and simmering are all the same. It's just all about the action on the top of the liquid. Like I said, like alcohol, it's not going to boil at 212 like water. Milk or something like that isn't going to boil at 212 like water does. So you can't really go by temperature all the time. It really just depends on the liquid. In this case scenario, I'm working with water, so those are the temperatures that I'm using to demonstrate this action. But as far as boiling and simmering, it's all about the way that it looks visually. We usually pay attention to the visual appeal, so that way we can know if we're simmering or if we're boiling. And lastly, I'm just gonna go in and give you my chef opinion, but a lot of home cooks do not use the right cutting boards. So before you, I have a plastic and I have a wooden one. Now, these two both serve their purposes in the kitchen. And even though as a chef, we don't use wood in anything in the kitchen, however, when you go home, you know, you're not always a chef at home, you're you. So I use wooden stuff at home, but there's a way that I do it. So plastic is easier to clean. Plastic is going to be the easiest to clean, but it's rougher on your blade, you know. The board that is made out of wood is going to be more easier on the blade. However, it's going to be really tough to clean. It's going to need a lot of TLC to get it properly cleaned, okay? With those things in mind, the best board that you can use is a plastic one, but you can also use a wooden one if you use them correctly. So if you're using a plastic board, I would suggest doing all of your raw meats, anything with any bacteria, salmonella, anything like that. I would suggest doing that on a plastic cutting board, only because it is easier, it's safer, and it is better to clean and to help avoid cross-contamination at any time. And then if you just so happen to have a wood one and you really want a wooden one, the best thing to do is to use this board for doing like mincing, you know, like garlic, onions, vegetables, things like that. But leave the meats for the plastic. Keep your vegetables and anything really that doesn't have anything oozing out of it that is bacterial or has any type of anything in it that's gross. Really avoid using this one at all times, but it's just going to be a lot tougher to sanitize because of the way that it's made, that wood, and because it's so soft and it absorbs so much, it can literally absorb a lot of bacteria and can just be hiding in those cracks and crevices. So try to avoid using meat on this board if you can. I know on this channel I've used my cutting board to season meat or anything like that, but it was purely out of demonstration purposes because I know how to take care of my boards. Just have this board, and let's say you don't have a plastic one, and you have to use meat on this wooden one, you can always use a sheet of plastic wrap or something like that and just put it over there and cover and protect the board from absorbing any of that stuff if you just have to use a wooden one. So this was a fairly short video. We apologize for all of the setbacks and all this other stuff. We're working on new projects, and I have my people on go, so there's a lot coming, but we are getting our schedule set in place so that way there can be more consistency and you guys can see us weekly on a set time instead of I'm telling you one thing and not delivering it. I do not like doing that, especially as my channel continues to grow. I appreciate all the new likes and subscribers, and I just wish you all the very best on your cooking journey, and I hope that you continue to rock out with us as we grow and as we share this information to help you be better at what you do, because great cooking isn't just for chefs, it's for you too. You can be on the lookout for our new cooking class. My new cooking class is coming next Friday on January 16th. You will see what all the hard work has been going into, and I hope to see you guys soon, and I will catch you guys in the next video.